Here are 7 things that you need to do in order to prepare perfectly for your upcoming SAT exam. Now, I will be focusing only on the math section because, well, I teach SAT math. And here are the 7 things that you need to do in order to feel confident and prepare perfectly for your SAT math section. First step, you should know all the concepts of SAT math in detail, not from, not like, oh, I have done this, I've done this. No, you should study each and every concept in detail. And these are all the concepts that you can see on my screen right now, which you need to learn in order to prepare well. And once you study a concept, after studying the concept, you should actually practice the questions based on those concepts. And not just any questions, but you should practice only the questions which are provided by College Board on their official website. So that's one thing, that you should know all the concepts in detail, and then you should apply that knowledge by solving the official questions provided by College Board. Once you are done with that, you should revise all the formulas and all the concepts that you have studied so far. So you should revise all the concepts. There should be a formula sheet or a cheat sheet with you, and you should take a printout of that formula sheet and just place it everywhere in your room. Whenever you're sleeping, you're waking up, you're eating, just keep revising those concepts, because what happens is, if you start preparing too early before the exam, then sometimes you tend to forget the concepts and the formulas. So it's very important to keep revising. Okay. That's something that you need to know thoroughly, like until your D-Day comes up. You have to keep revising the formulas. Okay. Third step is, especially for digital SAT, you know that you are going to have access to a graphing calculator. And trust me when I say this, your graphing calculator can actually solve the 40% of all the questions of your math section. 40%, that's a lot. Every algebra question can be solved using DESMOS, a graphing calculator. Okay, so you should know in what type of questions you should use DESMOS. Like, you shouldn't even touch your pen. So these are all the type of questions in which you don't even need to touch your pen. You just go on DESMOS, type the function, just adjust the sliders, and you'll get your answer. This is super important. It really saves your time. Okay. Then the fourth thing that you should need to know is, you should know the difference between the hard work and the smart work. Now, you may think that, okay, I have learned all the concepts, I have practiced the questions, I know every DESMOS hack, but trust me, if you're not solving your questions smartly, you are spending and wasting a lot of your time. Now, there are two ways. There are two ways to solve any question. Actually, there are multiple ways. Okay, so you should know the difficult way and the smarter way. Okay, so here are all the questions that you can do the difficult way and the smarter way. So you should know what's the smarter way of doing each problem, because ultimately it's all about saving time on SAT math. And even if you select the correct answer, but if you take more time, you will get less points than your peers. The number 5 that you should do is, see, everybody prepares for the SAT math section, but nobody prepares for the mistakes that you're going to do on your exam. Nobody tells you about the most common mistakes that other students are making. And the SAT test creators, they are very clever. They know that this is the kind of mistake that every student makes, and they will put that wrong answer choice in the 4 options, and you're going to select that wrong answer choice. So you should know what are some of the most common mistakes that students make so that you can avoid them. Then number 6 is shortcuts and calculations. Now, I know that a calculator is allowed on each and every question of SAT math, but trust me when I say this, your 90 to 95% of the math section's questions can be solved, and they're supposed to be solved without a calculator. You should use a calculator only when there are very weird decimals and some really long decimals and numbers, and you have to do some operation with them. Other than that, you should not use calculator anywhere. If you don't have decimals, you should not use calculator. Now, here is why you should not use calculator. Trust me, when you use a calculator, actually it is not saving your time, but actually you're spending more time than doing the calculations manually. Okay. Now that's why you should know some calculation hacks. Calculation hacks like how to multiply two-digit numbers quickly, how to multiply two-digit number by 11, some percentages hacks, um, hacks for adding and subtracting fractions, squaring numbers which end in 5. These will really save up your time. Then lastly, you should analyze the previous year's question papers and the practice tests which are provided by College Board in the form of Blue Book practice tests. So there are 6. This is something that's upcoming. So there are 6 practice tests in Blue Book, and you should analyze like how many questions are there from each section. So there are actually 32 sections. If I have to really categorize all the sections, there are 32 sections. And out of these 32 sections, how many questions do we have on each test? Okay, so you should do this analysis, but well, you don't have to do it. I have done this analysis already. And accordingly, you should do your preparation. Okay, and then finally, what if you have doubts? If you have doubts, there should be someone whom you can approach any time of the day you want. And so I have created this course, which is called A Plus Precision Course. And in this course, you will get all of these things. And not just that, you will also have access, personal access to me via WhatsApp and email. If you get stuck on any question, you can send an email to me or just send a screenshot of that question to me on WhatsApp. And I will send you the solution. Second thing is that if you're not able to understand the solution on WhatsApp, I will be available every day for 30 minutes and for your doubt clarification. So you can connect to me every day. You can connect with me every day for 30 minutes to clarify your doubts. Trust me, that's going to be a game changer for you. So let me know if you need this course.